don't just happen in 10 years. Sometimes it happens when you say, no, no more, never again. It's not happening. I'm burning my boat and I'm making the shift. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make an improvement. And what better time to do that as an entrepreneur or just as a regular person right now who needs to improve some area of their life? Are you worried? Are you guys out there really worried right now? My name is Brett Summers. Welcome to the Brett Summers Show. This is the first podcast we've shot in, I think, probably 3 to 4 weeks.
I think it's been that long.
And that is due to the unforeseen circumstances that we're all dealing with right now. And this show is all about worry, fear, about what you're going through right now, and how we can handle that, how you should approach it, and some of the things that entrepreneurs face that most other civilians aren't facing right now. So it's a little bit different. Everybody's experiencing it in a different way. First thing, though, we're all in it together. No one's been immune from it. You've seen NFL football players, NBA basketball players. You've seen people in Congress, you've seen the medical professionals, you've seen the poor, the rich, the heavy, the skinny, the black, the white, the yellow, the green. No matter who you are, you've been affected by this in some way. Hopefully you haven't been affected by the actual virus. I don't think it's far-fetched to think that everybody's been physically and emotionally impacted to a certain extent, just due to the uncertainty, just due to the stress and the pressure of it all. So I wanted to touch on some of that today. So again, that's why the theme is, are you worried? Because I think a lot of people out there are. Now, I do admit that I don't think others were as prepared for this. So for some, they're indoors. They've got a nice house. They've got enough food. They've got all of their medical necessities, pills, potions, whatever they need. Maybe they have an area to train and exercise. They have an office where they can still work. Maybe they have a lot of technology. While there are others out there who financially were not in maybe the best position yet in their life. So maybe they were struggling. Maybe they were really caught off guard. Maybe they were really needing that next paycheck. They had no savings. So I think while it's good to stay positive and it's good to keep your mind, focused on positive things and try and enjoy it most you can, with your family and FaceTiming and joking and making some TikToks and having fun, I think you also have to remember that there are others out there who are really struggling. So I think that my prayers, your prayers, everybody out there, is you can pray for them. If there's something you can do to help them out, you can send them something to encourage them. But I don't think that people should just glaze over the fact that there are a lot of people who are truly suffering right now. And maybe that's you as an entrepreneur. We'll kind of get into that. Entrepreneurs, we have to worry about a lot of different things on top of what everyone else is worrying about. As I just touched on, some people were just worrying about their next paycheck. Some people are worried just about their rent or their mortgage. Others are worried about maybe medical supplies that they need, maybe for a child or a loved one who's already had some health complications. Maybe they're dealing with cancer, some sort of disease. But on top of all of those things that everyone deals with, entrepreneurs have to deal with and be prepared for different types of things. So in this situation, entrepreneurs have to embrace the weight. You have to embrace the pressure. Being a business owner, being the top person, comes with a lot of burdens. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you just started a business or if you've been in business for a long time, you may have a better understanding of all the pressures that come with this. I mean, we have overhead, we have big rents, big leases, big real estate deals that you have to pay for to be able to keep your business up and running. You have all of the regular utilities that, everyone else out there has, but all of a sudden you have your business utilities, you have your disposal that you have internet, you have phone, you have all these, you have double the expenses, triple, quadruple, maybe 100 times the expenses of the average human being. So you have to try and understand that it's not going to be the same for you. You're not going to feel exactly the same as everyone else. You're actually going to feel all those pressures and then some. That is the sword you fall on as an entrepreneur. So it's not exactly going to be easy. So for anybody out there who's running a business or knows someone running a business, just understand right now that their business schedule, not only did their everyday schedule change for themselves, but their business schedule changed. Maybe they're in a service-based business and they had to wipe out their whole client base, much like my girlfriend who owns a salon had to reschedule everyone. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of people who have to have their schedules changed now. And then it was the 15th of April, and then it was the 24th of April, and then it's the 30th, and they're adjusting all these times. As an entrepreneur, you have to adjust and adapt. You are not going to be able to just sit back on your heels and think that everything's going to go exactly the way they say it is. You have to be ready to make an adjustment at the drop of a dime, and that's kind of where we're getting at right now. We don't know what's coming next, so you have to be ready to adjust and adapt at all times. I think the first thing that entrepreneurs are worried about is their clients and customers. You work really hard, you do a lot of marketing, you spend a lot of money, and you spend a lot of time, energy, effort, and creativity to get your customers. Once you have your customers, all of a sudden now you're in a position where you end up not being able to see or get in front of your customers or deliver all of the world-class value and products and services that you have to them. So your number one concern is them. How do you communicate to them? And that's a big pressure. Now, the next thing is you have to adjust your entire business model. So I don't say that just because something uncertain happens and you're not prepared for it, you throw up your arms, you do nothing about it. As an entrepreneur, you have to adjust your business model and you have to come up with solutions to try and still be able to serve and earn money and do different types of things, which we've had to do here at Topline. Another big thing is you have payroll again, you have rents, mortgages, utilities, mass communication adjustments, quick decisions. And it's crazy how it happens, how quickly it just happens. But I think we're all realizing now, change happens in an instant. It happens in a moment. So while that was the same thing just happened to everyone's jobs and their financial situation, some of their relationships, things change really quick. On the flip side of that, now you can recognize that, and when we come out of this, or even right now, you can start to focus on all of those changes you want to make to yourself. They don't just happen in 10 years. Sometimes it happens when you say, no more, never again, it's not happening. I'm burning my boat and I'm making the shift. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make an improvement. And what better time to do that as an entrepreneur or just as a regular person right now who needs to improve some area of their life. So one of the things I wanted to touch on, one of my mentors, which I always talk to my staff about, is Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn always talks about the 4 seasons. Forever, the 4 seasons have happened one after another. You start the year off, you're in winter, you go into spring, you go into summer, you go into fall, and guess what always comes back up? Winter. Now, from 2013, maybe 2012 to about 2019 or to early 2020, we've been in a big summer, right? Everything's looking good. Everyone's feeling good. All of this is escalating, right? Everyone's feeling good. Nobody's thinking about anything like what we're experiencing right now economically or as far as the virus is concerned. But what you have to do is have a very high respect for history. See, history doesn't lie either. Just like the seasons always come, after an inflation, there's always a deflation. So you have to be prepared for that as an entrepreneur. I'm talking to right now entrepreneurs, but I also think that goes for everybody. When everything's looking good and everyone's buying houses and everyone's buying cars and everyone's feeling good and everybody's an entrepreneur, everybody's a business owner, everybody's Instagram says entrepreneur in it because the times are real good. It's easy to get clients. Isn't it funny how over the last few weeks you've seen a steep decline in people pushing certain products and services? They've fully retreated. It's not as easy as it was the last 3 or 4 years or 5 years to make money. Influencers have had some of their sponsorship deals pulled out. So just having eyeballs no longer counts because the businesses had to reduce their money. So I think people are starting to see that you have to have your game a lot tighter. And you also, again, have to have a firm respect for history because history teaches you that things like this come up. So as a business owner, I'm highly suggesting that you guys have a firm respect for history. Read, Don't just watch the Lion Show, which we had a question today. Somebody said, did you get sucked into what's it called? Lion King?
Tiger.
The Tiger King.
Yeah.
Or the Tiger Man. I don't know what it is. It's a Netflix show. No, I did not get sucked into that. I think you have to track history. You have to watch documentaries. You have to learn from people. You have to see what Steve Jobs did during economic periods where things were going down. How did Apple thrive in 2008, 9, 10, 11 and seem to take over the whole world market share? Because they didn't retreat. They doubled down on their business. They made an adjustment to the market, and they continued to make brilliant, beautiful products and services. And as an entrepreneur, that's where your mind needs to be right now. So, again, with that being said, when things are going up and everything looks good and you're looking at things like this close, you don't see the big picture. So you're so close to the situation, everything's looking good, you're not seeing what's happening around it. Coronavirus was going on in December, January, February, although it became very apparent to everybody that it was real and it was reality in March. But it had been going on for months before that. So you have to have a big, broad picture of things. And when you have that, you can see that when times are really good, maybe you're going to have to draw back. Maybe you have to skip the concerts, the summer fest, the ball games. Maybe you have to skip the theater and skip the dinners. Maybe you have to do a little planning and protect the downside a little bit. I've read a lot of investment books in my day, and a lot of those investment books talk about preparing for the downside, preparing to protect the downside, having contingencies in place, taking asymmetric risk reward, knowing that you're going to fail in certain areas, but the other upsides are so big that they protect you when you do lose. And as a business owner and an entrepreneur who started his business, myself, in 2008, 2009 during the recession, and then the double dip, so we go into like a depression, I was always training myself to protect the downside. So last year, made a lot of specific moves and pulled back on a lot of things. I think 2019 was probably one of the best economic years for most people, and everyone's incomes were going up. The real estate market was reflecting that. The economic market in general was reflecting that, as you could see stock prices rising and people were feeling all good. When I saw that, I thought of some of the billionaire investors like Jack C. Bogle and Ray Dalio and some of these types of individuals who, Kyle Bass is another one of those people. When things are going really good, you have to be cautious and you have to see the reality of it, because you're not seeing it clear. You're seeing it through love goggles, because everything's looking good, but really in reality, as a business owner, you're not realizing that as good as things are right now, in the drop of a dime, the market will correct itself, as it always has done for many, many years, hundreds of years, thousands of years, forever. And I think that as an entrepreneur, you have to be prepared, because right now you're worried. Right now you're a little nervous. To be honest, I was worried last year. I would talk to my staff about it. I would tell the staff, here, I'm making these decisions right now because financially they set us up for the future. In the future, I always understand as an entrepreneur that the future is going to have some downsides in it. Now, I look at this situation, I know it's got people worried, it's got people anxious, but I look at it as a wonderful opportunity. I know that the most opportunities are going to be in this time, and that is why I made sure that we are extremely leveraged as a company, so that when a situation like this could present itself, we can make a quick decision and make a quick adjustment. Now, the last thing I want to touch on, if you're an entrepreneur out there, this whole game of business that you guys are in, it's not going to be easy. Britt posted a video last night about it should take time. You should have to wait. You should have to understand the game to be able to play it. So going on LegalZoom and starting an LLC for $129 does not make you an entrepreneur. Putting entrepreneur in your Instagram profile does not make you an entrepreneur. Boasting to your friends about Gary Vaynerchuk videos and telling them what you are going to do in the future does not make you an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs can handle a lot of pressure. It doesn't mean that they don't feel it. It doesn't mean that I haven't felt some pressure over the last few weeks. It doesn't mean that we don't sense it, right? In fact, I think the greatest entrepreneurs sense and know when some of this types of things are going to happen, and they can anticipate it and they can make it a quick adjustment because of where they're at and their thinking. So when you're starting up in business, or maybe you're contemplating whether or not you want to go in business, and now you're really contemplating it as you see all the adjustments that are being made, there's going to be a pressure to it. You're going to feel a lot of weight. You're going to feel a lot of uncertainty, and it's not going to feel easy. And that should excite you. That's why you're the leader. That's why you're the entrepreneur. That's why you're the one who calls the shots. You need to be prepared for that. You don't think the president feels it right now. You don't think that the NBA officials and commissioners felt it when they had to make that initial decision. I mean, they were the top players that made the first decision. It was NBA, then it was NCAA, then it was MLS, then it was MLB. And when you saw the big players making the moves, you had to understand that those people are feeling the same worry and fear. We're talking about companies where there was billions lost. So when the small businesses were still trying to keep going, they weren't making the adjustment. You got to understand, if the big players are worried, then you should have a healthy dose of fear in you as well. So expect the pressure. Understand that the pressure is going to be there and embrace it, because it's coming whether you like it or not as an entrepreneur, especially when times are good. Start to have the pressure on you before the times are bad, much like I did. I mean, to be honest, I had a healthy dose of paranoia all 2019, which I don't think anybody else was feeling. I think my staff felt good. I think that families felt good. I think that parents felt good. I think that even a lot of CEOs fell victim. They were kind of lulled to sleep by the inflation of the market and how good their portfolios were doing. History always shows you that as those things escalate, it's about to take a dump, and you need to be prepared for that at all times. So my final thoughts for today, this I just wanted to get this off my chest, is that you're going to feel pressure, and it's warranted. You're going to be anxious, and that's warranted. You are going to be under fire, and that's warranted. But you have to remain calm. You have to still execute. You have to make decisions, and you have to do them quickly, and you have to communicate them clearly, which is not my strong suit, and I'm going to be touching on a little bit in another episode. So I hope you guys are don't let this cripple you. Don't let this worry and fear can paralyze you. I've felt it before. I've had anxiety attacks. I've been in the hospital with anxiety attacks before, where I felt like I was having a heart attack. I couldn't breathe. You get tunnel vision. Your body gets cold. You can't digest your food. Your stomach's upset. In business, and the turmoil and twists and turns of business have put me in the hospital before. So when I talk to you about being worried, I'm not talking down to you. I'm talking to you because that's what I've felt before. And one of the things that really helps me now, even though you still have that healthy dose of fear, is this: you anticipate it. Before, I think there was naivete. I think that I had my head in the sand. I think I thought times were always going to be good. And then when something unexpected would surface, I wouldn't know how to adjust, and I wouldn't know how to adapt in a positive, calm, analytical, clear, concise way. Now it's 2020. I've been in business since 2008, October of 2008, and I'm a little bit more prepared for it. So you can make decisions, and then you can adjust a little bit better. So all you guys out there, it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or not. If you're worried right now, use it. Use it, because the worry's there for a reason. It's telling you that you have to make a change. It's telling you have to make an adjustment. It's telling you need a new system. You need a new strategy. And to be honest, that's what we're looking at it as here as a company. I have never thought better than I have over the last couple weeks. I have never been more excited than I have over the last couple weeks. In fact, I think some of this opened up my eyes to the fact that I didn't really like some of the things we were doing, and I didn't love some of the things that we're doing. Again, I'll touch on that in another show that I got coming up, and I'm really excited about it. So you can take the worry and shift it to a positive emotion. You can just shift your mindset. So I'm with you. I'm with you guys out there. If you do have somebody affected by what's going on out there physically, I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you. I'm sending you good vibes. If you yourself are feeling the effects just from worry and you almost feel paralyzed, I've heard of some people in my inner circle and people that I have relationships with, and people they're dealing with are like paralyzed right now. They want to hide. They want to duck. They want to run for cover because the uncertainty and the fear is getting to them. If that's you, I don't know you, but I'm praying for you every day. I'm praying for your peace. I'm praying for your mind to be cleared. I'm praying for you to be strengthened and to have some of these areas in your life that you know you want to improve, and now you have the time to do it, to be uncovered. So I'm thinking about you. I'm hoping nothing but the best for you, and I'm super excited about what's going to happen as we get through this, because I do believe that we will. I believe some good stuff's going to come out of it. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. I thank you guys for tuning in. If you think this will help someone else out, feel free to share it. It's going to mean a lot, and hopefully, again, it helps at least one person, if not 100 or a million. That would be even better, I think. So, first podcast back wasn't the greatest, but there was a lot of good stuff in there. So pull something out of it, and if you did hear this on YouTube, or if you saw something on Instagram, drop a comment. Let us know what you guys thought. Okay.